All right, update number 9. Apologize, it's been several weeks since we've done a video, but we moved into the van and we've been kind of in survival mode ever since. And honestly, the van has just been such a mess, in trying to make that transition that I haven't wanted to show anybody what the van looks like since we moved in. But working on stuff today and figured, I really need to make a video for you guys, especially for those of you who have donated to the cause. I want to make sure you know what your money has gone into and helping our family, accomplish this. So first of all, the fiberglass is not done. I've got it on the roof on the very top, done because I just needed to get the waterproofing. I needed to be able to take the majority of the rain. That stuff hanging off the edge I need to cut off and clean up. But regardless, the canvas that's up there is waterproof, but I put staples through it, and so it's not perfectly waterproof. So I've got the fiberglass and the resin on top for now, to take the majority of the rain, and so we're okay there. I've had the van under a roof, under a hay barn roof during the worst of the storms, just because it's not really done yet. So we've been improvising there. That air conditioner is exactly where I want it not to be. I want that air conditioner set farther back and a vent put over the front, that follows the angle of the topper there. But we just didn't have time and we just threw it up there and improvised for now. But I'm going to be taking that out today, because it's getting cool enough we don't really need an air conditioner. We can just have fans during the day, and it's cool enough during the night that we don't need it. But next spring, I'll build a box for it and mount that farther back and have a vent fan over the top. But for now, when I do the rest of the fiberglass, hopefully this week, I'll just cover that up and I can cut it out later. So I've got a friend of mine who's going to help me this Friday and just to knock out the rest of the fiberglass on the top there. So that's going to help the image a lot, because I don't know how many of you have watched the Red Green Show, but man, this looks like something that Red would have come up with. It's just duct tape and spit holding it together kind of look, and it looks super tacky. I don't like it at all. But it's where we're at, so we'll work with it. So we'll get that fiberglass done, and I'll just get some paint over top of that just to help it not look as bad. What I'd really like to do, I've been looking at getting kind of a Rhino liner, truck bed liner, over the whole van, over the topper, over the rest of the body, over the underbody, just to get the whole thing solid and taken care of and protected. But that's going to cost like $2,000 to $3,000, so I can't do that until next year, because I just don't have the funds for it, and I have too many other things that I have to put money into. So let's show you what else we have. I think I showed you guys the kitchenette that Heather had put in, but I'll show you. I've got some. So there's a kitchenette, and I've got a bunch of stuff in here because I'm working on stuff, and so stuff has moved around. But I've got some plumbing set up. You can see there's a barrel hooked up right underneath this is temporary, but barrel hooked up underneath the drain, and I've got another barrel with fresh water, and I've got an on-demand 12-volt water pump. So whenever we turn that sink on, that pump kicks on and draws water from that barrel and comes out the top and drains down into the other barrel. And we just dump the other barrel. So it works for now. We definitely go through that water really fast, just doing dishes and cooking and everything else. So you can see my chest freezer that we're using as a refrigerator for now. And that's working okay. I definitely would like to have that back being a freezer and get a refrigerator put in underneath the countertop there. But that and a lot of other things, so it's just a matter of priorities. And Heather's got a whole bunch of kitchen stuff, mounted up there, and so we're making progress. We really got to get the insulation in because it's getting colder at night, and we don't have the insulation put in. We've got two electric heaters, which is the most inefficient way of heating. It's just super power hungry, but that's what we have for now, so we're doing that. Power has been a bit of an issue. the generator generates more than enough power. I mean, that I bought it because I wanted to know that I could run anything I need to and not worry about it, which is good. But that generator is too loud. And so there's only so many places that I can run that. It's like out on the farm, and in some industrial parks for overnight. I can't run that anywhere near any residential stuff because it'll just be a nuisance. I did build a box around the generator. I had 7 fans venting the heat and exhaust for that, and it wasn't enough. It was still overheating. I could get a blower fan, but that's going to be super power hungry. And I decided I didn't want to invest too much more time and money into trying to make that work. So we're just going to put up with that for now. What I'd really like to do is get a few locations where we can plug into power and just get a little power meter, to just plug into the wall and it counts how much power you're using. And just from a couple people that we have permission, and just plug in at night, and recharge our batteries and run our heaters and everything off of that at night. And then during the day, I've got some deep cycle batteries set up, golf cart batteries, that can run heaters, cooking, everything we need during the day. So, yeah, but power is still an issue. It will be an issue until we can get the $3,000+ that we need for the solar system, that we'll have to put on the roof. But that won't be until sometime next year because I don't have the money for it. And there's the vent fan. I'm hoping I can get that vent fan in today. I'm kind of skeptical that whether I'm going to be able to or not. I'm probably going to run out of time. But I'd like to get that vent fan put in today, but I don't know. I'm skeptical. We'll see. But I want to show you something that came in the mail yesterday. Should have arrived several weeks ago, but we're finally getting it now. That is, put this down, this bench seat. Well, it doesn't look like a seat right now because it's converted to the bed form so that I know where I need to position it. So this is my job today, is mounting this. I've got to cut some holes in the floor because I don't want it resting. I don't want it resting on the wood. I want to cut that out. I want to mount that and have that set and get the seat belts put in. So that this whole section folds up and back, and that front section shifts back, and that will be a bench that we can have the kids in seatbelts and transport them in the van, which we haven't been able to do to this point, which is really inconvenient. You can see up there, I didn't show you that. Let me show you. It's kind of a mess because I've got a whole bunch of stuff up there right now, but I built the upper bunks for the girls. Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of stuff up there right now, but they've got lots of room up there. I don't know if you can see. The lighting might not work, but there's a bunch of room up there for them, and I've got a net that I'm going to bolt across there for them so they can be a little bit safer up there. And that front section actually it comes off, and you can shift it up on top of the other section and gives you more living space up here. But it's not really set up properly yet, so we just have left it set up all the time for now. But later we'll have that where you can break that down and really open up the interior space, because man, and in this small of a living space, you want all the space you can get. So yeah, progress, slowly but surely. My job keeps me extremely busy. And honestly, moving into the van and the stress of trying to make all of this work has been exhausting. And so having the energy and the time to get all of this work done has just been difficult. And of course, the same problem that everyone has, money. I don't have the money I need to finish this. So, I mean, I'm hoping this paycheck, I've got to do the math, but I'm hoping this paycheck I can manage to buy the tires that I need, get the insulation done. Like I said, I've got a buddy helping me Friday to get the fiberglass on, and I'll just put some paint over that to make it look a little bit better. But there's so much work that needs to be done still. I made a prediction to my father-in-law that this project won't be really done until this time next year, because there's just so much to do and so much money that has to go into it that I don't have yet. So we'll just keep on pushing at it and getting it done. But as soon as that insulation is done and that topper is done, and I've got this bench seat in, so Heather and I actually have a real bed to sleep on, it's going to improve things a lot, because I've been a little bit concerned about some of the colder nights. So far, we've been okay. We've got the in-laws' place as a backup in case it gets too cold for the girls. But yeah, as the dad trying to provide for the family and having a safe and warm home, I've been really nervous about that. So getting that insulation in is definitely toward the top of my list to get done this week. And so, but once all of those things are done, I think we'll be in a lot better shape. Then there's some mechanical issues I've got to take care of. I got to get those tires because yeah, they're balding. I just don't feel safe having those tires. I need to get those switched out. I've got to get new injectors in. I want to do a tune-up with new plugs and wires and everything. I need to get a new muffler on. And after all of that, then we've got to save up for things like the solar system, the paint job, and or the rhino lining if that's what I end up doing. Because if I cover the whole thing in that truck bed rhino lining stuff, that's going to be really solid protection. Really, it's going to be, yeah, that would really help this whole thing hold up and last over the long term. So it's been an adjustment. I mean, our whole culture and our way of life and our way of thinking is focused on this pursuing after comforts and convenience. And this is very not convenient and very not comfortable. It's not the space that I would like to be living in. It's just too dang small. But it's uncomfortable in a I know this is good for me kind of way because yeah, I kind of want to try to disengage from that comfort trap, from that pursuit of feeling like I need to be comfortable and everything convenient. And yeah, I don't think that's right. I think there's a lot of philosophical and religious backstory to that, but I don't think that's what we need to be focusing on. So this has been kind of an adventure in stretching in some different directions, and it's not comfortable, but I'm also kind of okay with that. And we're going to make things a little bit more comfortable in some making things more livable, but it definitely is a work in progress. So yeah, stick with us, and we'll keep on updating you. And yeah, I don't know if I probably already said this several times. If I were to do this again, we'd be renting right now, and I would just keep. It would take longer because we wouldn't have the same money. But I would just keep on working on the van until it was done, and then move into it. But this works too. It's just a little bit more stressful, but we'll make it work. So thanks for sticking with us.